Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and I can't believe I've never really covered Dragon Ball on this channel, considering it is my favorite IP of all time. But you know what happens every 6 months. More rumors that Dragon Ball Super will be coming back, and that's just what we have here. Let's check out this article, see if there's any merit to it. Alrighty, this coming from Divide Scores. I won't lie, it's a source I've never heard of, but I do like this art. This is some nice old school DBZ art, so you know what? The article was worth it just from getting to see this visage alone. Let's go through here. The beloved Dragon Ball Super franchise has kept fans hooked since 2015 when this manga first hit the pages of Shueisha's V-Jump monthly magazine. Written by Akira Toriyama and animated to life by Toei Animation for a 4-year stint in Japan from 2015 to 2018, Super Saiyans are eagerly awaiting news of a second season. Alright, so out the gate, we've got some issues. The show was written by Akira Toriyama, but it's talking about the manga right here, which was written by Toyotaro. So I already am curious. Maybe it's just they're making an assumption. Maybe they're talking about the show only. But their credibility is already a little suspect for my personal taste. But let's keep going. Though their patience will be rewarded with sequel films Dragon Ball Super Broly in 2018 and Dragon Ball Super Hero. Actually, it's Dragon Ball Super Superhero 2022. Once again, little mistake, easy to make, but when you got 2 mistakes in the first paragraph, you know, it does call into question how much you actually know about the product and whether or not Season 2's coming. Right now, rumors not looking off to a good start. Today we take an eager look about what could await us if Dragon Ball returns for Season 2. They don't even say Dragon Ball Super, didn't capitalize the B. What a sham article. A member of Toei Animation Philippines staff named Florence J. Damuento spoke out about the future of Super in a new interview of the official Dragon Ball website. They remarked, "As a fan, I'm really anticipating more movies and products. I'm also looking forward to the new anime that will follow Dragon Ball Super." Okay, this could be interesting. The new anime that will follow Dragon Ball Super. That doesn't imply Season 2. That would imply an entirely new anime. Dragon Ball, you know, Extra or something. Or maybe just, you know, Dragon Ball Super Season 2. Dragon Ball and all long-running shonen do their seasons a little bit different, unlike seasonal anime that have, you know, 12 to 24 episodes. This ran uninterrupted for, I believe, 132 episodes. One Piece does the same thing. You know, Fairy Tail. They've all done it. The odd one out, you know, the odd shonen that doesn't do it being My Hero Academia, which actually does drop in season intervals of about 24 episodes, give or take. According to High on Cinema, the reputable Dragon Ball leakers DBS Chronicles, DBS Hype, and SLO Plays revealed the story of the Z-Fighters after the Universe of Survival saga will continue in Dragon Ball Super Season 2. The leaks even claimed that the anime was already in production and would begin airing in 2023. Well, I highly doubt that. They would want to build hype up a whole lot further in advance. We got information about Dragon Ball Super, you know, Broly, and like, it was very, very scant information, but we got it in like 2016, 2017, and it didn't drop till early 2018, you know, in January of 2018. But we had information on it in as early as 2016, like late 2016, but it may have been 2017. Either way, if it's going to be dropping this year, you'd think they'd be pumping it up more, but I doubt it. A Twitter post of DBS Chronicles also revealed that the creator, Akira Toriyama, is involved in the project of 2023. Akira Toriyama, creator of Dragon Ball series, is involved in the production of the upcoming 2023 Dragon Ball anime. Follow me on Instagram in case Twitter shuts down someday. I mean, so it just uses a photo and it's just a statement from him. I mean, I'm sorry, maybe this guy's a reputable leaker. He's not one I've ever heard of, but that said, I try to avoid leaks. I try to stay away from them. I don't like spoilers or anything to that effect. But this just isn't enough. This is just a statement. I could go on Twitter and say the exact same thing. I wouldn't make it any more relevant. So hearing that the mastermind himself will be involved with the anime production is always welcome news. Dragon Ball Super Season 2 will most likely follow the manga, and we will see the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Saga and the Moro arc. Now this is what a lot of fans have speculated, that it's been put on hold so that we can get several arcs further into the manga, so that we don't run into the old issue that we had way back in the DBZ days of them having to stretch out and add longer fights, filler episodes, because it's playing catch up with the manga. The manga just wasn't going as fast, the anime was catching up too quickly. Once you get several manga arcs ahead, you can bring the anime back and you can start adapting it, and you know, it takes much longer to catch up, if it ever catches up. The manga could instead completely finish before the anime even catches up to it. That's not likely to happen when it comes to Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball never ends. It is effectively, in some way, shape, or form, continuously been going since the 80s, with, you know, hiatuses here and there. But the point is, I get that speculation that, hey, once a few more arcs come out, they'll bring the show back. That was what everyone said back when the show ended in, like, 2017. or 2016, whenever it was. But yeah, where is it? It's been years. I don't think that excuse flies anymore. We've had like 4 years worth of manga continuations. You would think at some point they'd be able to bring in, more episodes. Now, granted, we've gotten 2 movies, and where those 2 movies fit in with how they're going to adapt the show and where the crossover will be, I don't know. That could play a part. Maybe they're gauging interest, using sales numbers. But I mean, it's Dragon Ball. It always sells. I think the only IP that it outsells it, anime-wise, manga-wise, is One Piece. So, yeah, while I get this is possible, we've been hearing, this is the same thing we've been hearing for the last, 4 years. Viewers of Dragon Ball Super Season 2 may also witness the emergence of Moro, a new supervillain who will challenge the Z Warriors for supremacy. Moro is the greatest threat they will encounter since Frieza because of this horrifying ability to drain the life force from planets. Fans may also see Goku as tasked with assisting Jocko in his capture of Moro, which forces him to go toe-to-toe with the wizard, testing the limits of his Ultra Instinct. I mean, at this point, you're just, giving us manga synopses. I want actual information, David Scores. Though Dragon Ball Super Season 2 hasn't yet been officially announced, we may see the return of Masako Nozawa as Son Goku, Ryo Hirakawa as Vegito, Sean Schemmel as Goku, Masakazu Morito Uesu, Doc Morgan as narrator, Koichi Yamadera as Barisu, Christopher Sabat as Vegeta. Look, you're just giving us names, Mayumi Tanaka as Krillin, and many others if the project is greenlit. Yeah, this is a classic textbook example of padding for length. That's what you're doing. Hey, let's make an entire paragraph that's mostly just names. That doesn't do a whole lot for me. I don't know about you guys. That doesn't do a whole lot for me. If you're just padding this for names, this lends no credibility. I'm in the camp right now, as of reading this, I'm in the camp of believing, nah, Dragon Ball Super Season 2, not coming. Or at least if it is, not for a long time. This has done nothing to convince me. There is a little bit more, let's keep going, but that's where I stand with it. Whereas a release date for the anime Dragon Ball Super has not yet been made official, there is widespread speculation that it will happen in the latter half of 2023. We will keep an eye on Dragon Ball Super anime and track its development and update you accordingly. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Look, here are my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super Season 2. We all want it. Who doesn't want it? I mean, ever since the first season ended, which it ended brilliantly, we've wanted it. Then they gave us Dragon Ball Super Broly, which was possibly the best Super it ever been, at least visually. Yeah, it was still modern animation, but it really harkened back to that Z art style. I think visually Broly is the gold standard. Then Dragon Ball Super Superhero came out, did very good numbers at the box office. It was very well received. A lot of folks were put off by the CGI at first, but then they, myself included, and then they found out, hey, no, it blends kind of seamlessly. It took me maybe 5-10 minutes tops sitting in the theater to realize, never mind, a film like this could work, because at that point I had forgotten I was even watching anything with any sort of CGI influence. It looked good. It looked like Dragon Ball Z. I mean, there's been a lot of hype around Dragon Ball. Fighters had continuously added Dragon Ball Super characters. I think Fighters is done adding DLC now, but Xenoverse isn't. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 still adding DLC characters. It's still getting purchased. I mean, there is still much love for Dragon Ball as an IP. It's still getting games. It's still getting movies. The manga is clearly still ongoing. And it's the, I believe, 11th or 14th highest grossing franchise literally in the world. It's very, very up there. When you talk the top 20 franchises of all time, Dragon Ball is on that list at either 11 or 14. I don't remember. So it's clearly massive. I definitely think we're going to get a Season 2 or get a new series entirely, but it's probably going to be Season 2. The manga is still called Dragon Ball Super, so why not just make a second? Point is, it's coming. The question is when. And it doesn't seem like they're in any hurry to give it to us, which is crazy because Masako Nozawa, God, I love her to death, but she's not getting any younger. I mean, she's, I believe, in her 80s, the voice of Goku. We got to get this out quick because what happens if something were to happen to her if she were to pass? I mean, we lost the voice of Bulma during the airing of Dragon Ball Super, and that was absolutely tragic. So they already had to recast Bulma for the movies, the subsequent films and whatnot. And she was like 30 years or so younger than Masako Nozawa. They should really be prioritizing that because as tragic as it was, recasting Bulma isn't exactly impossible. Recasting Goku, an iconic character that's been around for 30, 40 years at this point with a very distinct voice, man, who's going to fill those shoes? If it were me, I'd say let's get Super done before something tragic happens. But then again, that's just my thoughts on the matter. But let me know your thoughts on the matter. Are we ever going to get Dragon Ball Super Season 2? Do you want Dragon Ball Super Season 2? Let me know all this and more in the comments below. Also follow me on Twitter at BoltTheWord. I cover nerdy news every day, whether it be anime, Star Wars, Magic the Gathering, you name it. It's all here in the nerdosphere. So please subscribe, because until next time, this has been Words of Paradise.